Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have these really fun BetterPress cards to share with you. So let's jump right in. So I am going to cut down a piece of cotton cardstock. This is a piece I actually have. It's quite large, and I'm going to cut it down to be an A2 size panel, which is 4¼ by 5½. And I'm going to trim it again later, but for now I want to start with a full A2 panel just because it's easier to use in the BetterPress. So I'm going to trim this down just because I wanted to see how it would compare to the cardstock that you can buy specifically for the BetterPress, which is also 100% cotton. But I just had it on hand and I thought it'd be a fun experiment just to see what it would do and how it would react, and see if it was very similar to what the BetterPress cardstock is doing. So I also cut down 2 black mats. I am going to make 2 cards. So one card will have that cotton paper that's mine, and then one will have cotton paper that comes with the BetterPress, and it's in the bisque color, I believe, because I'm pretty sure I've used up all the porcelain. So it's kind of a cream, like off-white color. So I just put the SB in the corner of that one panel. I'll know because we use different colors of ink on top, but I did mark them so that I would know which one was the SpellBinders one and which one was the one that came out of my own stash. And we are using the BetterPress by SpellBinders. So it's the SpellBinders BetterPress Letterpress System. And I have the plate here, and this is a really neat plate. So it's the Thank You Blooms plate, and it has like multiple layers, and I thought that was really cool. And of course I am going to use my Big Shot because that's what I own. I don't have the Platinum 6 or anything like that, but so we're going to use the Big Shot for it. And you have this acetate sheet, and it shows you where all of the plates need to sit. And there's 7 plates all together, and it works up really easily. I was a little surprised at how quick and easy it is to make a card and have it be really fun and multifaceted, because it is, you can use several different colors, and the plates are far enough apart that if you wanted to use 7 different colors, you could. I did choose to just do the colors that kind of went with the plate, but you could absolutely change up the colors even more. And I recently found out that you can actually hot foil your plates as well. So that is incredibly cool. So that kind of even gives you a little bit of versatility if you own a hot foil machine, which of course I do, because I love all the things that shine, and foil is just really, really pretty. So the whole idea is that you bring in your cotton paper, and I attached it to the top. There are specific names for them, and I'm sorry, off the top of my head, I don't remember what they're called. And then it presses the plate into your paper with the pressure from your die cutting machine. And it is just so neat. So there you can see that I've pressed the thank you, because that is your first layer. I actually don't think it matters how you do this. Like if you do it in a specific order, I'm sure the instructions tell you to do it in a specific order, which is the way I'm doing it. But because nothing is touching, like you can see that the flower goes around the tea, nothing touches. So, as long as you line it up to the back or like the acetate sheet, then you should be perfectly fine and have no issues with how the stuff goes down. So I thought this was really cool. I have a lot of fun making this. So I pressed the thank you, and I used just the BetterPress black ink, and we'll have to try another time using just regular inks. These are the inks specifically formulated for the BetterPress. You can just see I have a little tin of them there. They fit in the archival size tin, the mini archival inks, because they are actually like an archival ink. So they do fit in those tins. So I have a tin for all of my BetterPress inks, and I just kind of keep them in those tins and then keep them with the BetterPress so that I don't mess up my inks. But we will have to do a test at some point and see how it works well with other inks. But in this case, I'm going to use the actual inks that were, designed to go with this. And then so you see we've just added 2 large flower clusters onto the background there, and look how cool that is. And we've done very little work here at this point. And I did use Mulberry for the first flowers. I'm going to use Garnet for the second set of flowers, which are these kind of smaller blooms that kind of cluster around the thank you. And then for this one, this is the SpellBinders BetterPress paper. And of course, Mist had to come and check out that I was, quality control. She needed to make sure that I was doing a good job. So we were going to use Garnet for this, and I just run it through my Big Shot each time. So I just kind of set it aside and then run it through. And I like to run it through kind of slowly. This doesn't look slow because this is sped up, but I do kind of try to like give it nice even pressure throughout. So I'm, trying to get the ink to stamp down nicely. And so there's the Garnet ink, and we did those kind of littler blooms. And I'm going to do this. I don't think it would be a good idea to remove your cardstock, because if you didn't line it up properly, because like we're going to make 2 of these, right? I think that you're better to do the full design and then do the full design again. Because I would worry that I wouldn't be able to line my cardstock back up. And then you could be potentially using colors on top of, where your leaves are or where your flowers are or whatnot. So I think that this is the best way to do it. But I mean, try it. If you have the BetterPress, give it a go and see what happens. This is just kind of what I thought would work. And then for the leaves on this one, we are using Teal Topaz, which is this really pretty tealy color. And then on the next one, we're going to actually use a few different colors, as you saw in the beginning. I am going to show you making both because it was so quick and simple. And I wanted you to just see that this video is only 12.5 minutes. Now, granted, this is sped up, of course, but these cards were so quick and easy to put together. And if you weren't filming like I am, so you're not, worried about whatever I'm worried about, this would be even quicker. It's just because, I'm filming. So I do have to be a little aware of what I'm doing and what's in the frame and whatnot. But there's the whole card panel. Like, we're done. That's the card panel. Like, you don't have to do anything else here. You could do a lot of things. You could do this in all black and then watercolor the flowers. You could, there's so many things you could do here, but this is just a really quick and simple way to make a beautiful card design. So that's what we're going to do. And now we're going to do it. So this is my cotton paper. It is a 100-pound cotton paper. It feels stunning. Like, if you're a paper snob like me, this is a beautiful paper. Anyway, and I'm just going to redo all the steps in a different colorway. So this is just how quick these come together. It's just, I know it's funny. I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. It is a little bit amazing. And sadly, you can't see the press effect. I can see it in person. It's phenomenal. But sadly, on the video, you don't really get that full, how it's pressed. It's just so cool because it presses that into the cotton paper and it just gives this really neat look. So I love it. I think it's a really fun invention. And I bought the butterfly plates. We're going to have to play with that here pretty quick. But I haven't used it yet. So then for this one, I did the Garnet color in the big blooms, and then I'm going to use Mulberry for the little blooms, and then Leaf, which is the green shade, for the leaves in this one. So I just wanted a different colorway. But you could do it the same. If you had needed to mass produce this for some reason, I think this would be an incredibly good way to mass produce cards, because it is you just have to line it up, put some ink on, and put it through your die cutting machine. It's a very, very quick way to do things. The only thing I find that takes a little bit of time is making sure that your plate is inked. Because it will shift as you ink it. As you can see, I'll go back and make sure that it's perfectly lined up again, and then I run it through. But I don't worry about getting ink on the acetate sheet. It wipes off super easily. There was no issues there. So you could mass produce these so easily if that was something you needed to do. And then that's the Mulberry ink, which is really pretty. It's kind of the only purple they have out at the moment. I'm sure more ink colors will come out, but currently, you saw my 2 tins of colors. Those are the colors that currently exist, although I'm sure that more colors will come out. But we will have to try. We'll have to give my oxide inks a go and see if they do anything. I don't know if they will or not. We'll have to see. But because I own the BetterPress inks, I just thought it would be fun to use the specific colors, and especially since some new colors came out recently, and Garnet was one of them, and I've been kind of waiting to play with it. So I love how these come out. And then we're pretty much done the card now. All we need to do is assemble. And then of course, if you want to add anything to give it a little something extra, but all that we have left is to assemble. And I chose to have this piece of tape in the middle of the part that goes on the top. You don't have to. I have it there because I like my card. I don't want my cardstock to shift at all while it's in going through the die cutting machine. So I like that centerpiece, but by no means would you need it. And then here I'm going to cut down my A2 sized panel because I like to have layers. I like to have that bordered look, but you wouldn't need to. At this point, they are A2 sized. So I cut this down to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than my A2 base, and then the black mat I did earlier is about 1/8 of an inch smaller, so that I can have just a thin layer of each layer, so that they all kind of frame the card really nicely. But like, if you didn't want to do this, I mean, I'm adding extra steps just for like extra look because I like a specific aesthetic. But if all you wanted to do was adhere this down to your card panel, like, this would be an incredibly quick card to make. So I had a lot of fun making these. They were a really fun and quick, simple card to make for the market that I have this week. I have a shortage of thank you cards, as always, and I find thank you and birthday tend to be popular, at least for me personally. We'll see what sells at the market, but I just thought these would be a lot of fun, and they're not difficult to make, so they're kind of a fun idea. And I hadn't showcased these plates on my channel yet, so I hate to have stuff just sit here and not use it and show it to you guys. So I thought that was a lot of fun, and I love the 2 colors. Tell me which colorway was your favorite. Do you have a preference? I think I like the second one that I did slightly better, just because it has a little bit of purple in it, whereas the first one I kind of did 2 different shades of pink, really, and that garnet color is really pretty because it's kind of like a dusty pink, which is quite pretty. So I had a lot of fun kind of making those. And of course, because it's me and I can't resist, I did bring in some pearls just to add a little bit of extra shimmer and shine. But these cards are stunning right here. Like, they don't need anything else. It's just that I have a lot of embellishments in my stash, so I try to use them because I don't need to collect pearls. That's kind of funny. But yeah, so I did add just these kind of vintagey pearls to it. It's just like an off-white color. It's a little bit of a cream, and I thought they kind of popped really beautifully on the cards. So I did add them to both of my cards, and then that's pretty much what I did. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of quick card design. We did make 2, and it was a really quick come together for these cards. So if you need to mass produce and you have the BetterPress system, you should totally consider these plates if you're interested. And I really hope they do more like this. I'd love a happy birthday one that was like this. They maybe had balloons or something around the design. Like, it just looks so cool. And I mean, there's so many things you could do here. You could bring in some, glitter pen and add glitter to the flowers. You could watercolor the flowers. Like, there's so many things you could do. I just went with a very simple version of this so that I could showcase it off. And then we'll have to maybe next time watercolor something, or hot foil. Maybe we'll hot foil the sentiment and then do flowers around it that aren't. Like, this would be a fun thing to kind of play with. But I was going to say that is the card. Those are the cards I made for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed them. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.